New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani, who helped, along with Ray Kelly and Bernie Kerik and others, find their own counterterrorist task force here in New York City.
Correct.
What do you think about how this went down? It looks like we got two FBI guys on the inside, but he did get back from Syria.
Well, I mean, that's the bad news. He shouldn't have gotten back from Syria. The good news is we caught him, and that is good news, because remember President Bush used to always say, the difficulty here is we have to be right 100% of the time.
Yep.
They just have to be right, less than 1% of the time. I think that's the kind of issue we're facing. And that gets more difficult when it's internal terrorism. The fact that he left the United States, came back under funny circumstances, would indicate to me that we should have picked him up. The ones that worry me are the ones that don't bother going overseas.
Right.
And they're just planning
on the internet.
Planning it here. There you need a lot of policing, a lot of local policing, a lot of training of police. Basically, the FBI and the Homeland Security have to think of our 800,000 uniformed police officers as their eyes and ears. We got to come up with that concept, because remember, there are only 14,000 FBI agents.
Right.
There are 800,000 police.
Absolutely.
So it's those police that can spot the terrorists. And I could give you examples before September 11 of police officers who picked up suspicious circumstances. Once a rookie cop watching these guys surveilling the subway.
Okay.
And he went to the sergeant, said they look suspicious. About 4 or 5 hours later, we arrested them. They had all kinds of bombs. They tried to set off one of the bombs. One of them got shot. That's the kind of we need to train our police to watch the streets, the neighborhoods carefully, the mosques, to see who's getting developed. So we keep a profile of it.
According to, if you go in, and it's interesting that you say that, I think that's a brilliant theory and many would support that, but not according to the chapter president of the NAACP in Memphis. He actually called law enforcement officials there, police, terrorists if they're acting out of line. Listen to this, and I'm just going to anticipate what your reaction might be.
They should consider arming themselves to defend themselves against criminals. A police officer, a law enforcement officer that approaches people outside of normal police procedure is a criminal. He's a terrorist. Now, we're not suggesting that people go out and start shooting folks, taking the law in their own hands, but it is clear that law enforcement, prosecutors, and the judicial system cannot or will not defend us.
That is an official with the NAACP in Memphis.
That is a really sick statement. I mean, the fact is, police officers Lou and Ramos, who died here in this city just a few months ago, died doing exactly the opposite of. Is he a minister or something? Or
he's the chapter president of the NAACP there in Memphis.
They died protecting African Americans. I mean, they were two New York City police officers put in front of a housing development because there was too much crime against African Americans in that housing development.
Not in their precinct.
They moved to another precinct. So those two men died to protect, and he says that the police don't protect, his community. Police officers brought down crime in this city and murder by 80 or 85% in the African American community.
Right.
So who are they protecting?
Right. It's a dangerous statement from an official that should know better.
Well, it's a very dangerous statement because, as we know, you never know who you're affecting. And now he's telling people to have guns and to consider police officers terrorists?
He's in a leadership position. Saying
he should not be in that leadership position. Somebody from the NAACP should fire him and make that statement and make it clear. The overwhelming majority of police officers are protecting you, me, African Americans, white Americans, all kinds of Americans. That's what they do every day. That's what they put down their lives for. I've seen many of them, unfortunately, get seriously injured or die as a result of it.
Unfortunately. All right. I want to talk to you a little bit about politics. Hillary Clinton, once upon a time, was a U.S. Senator from New York State, where we are right now. She's been out in Iowa. Have you heard about this? She went out. She went in an armored van called Scooby. She did some appearances. She answered no questions. Apparently, her van parked in a handicapped spot. She had some lunch at Chipotle. She didn't talk to anybody. How's her rollout been?
It sounds very contrived. I mean, look, Hillary Clinton is not an ordinary person. She was the First Lady of the United States Senator. She's one of the most famous people in the world.
Don't pretend to be ordinary, then.
She's not. I mean,
she hasn't
that
driven
doesn't mean
a car
she's better
since
than anybody
1996.
else. It means she's different, and she should be herself. I think the worst thing you can try to do as a candidate is pretend. We saw that. We've seen that on both sides. Right. How that has hurt people when they pretend. Be who you are.
If Donald Trump gets in and he decides, I'm going to take a private coach flight back from Iowa to be everyman and carry my luggage, that would be laughable. We know he's a billionaire.
Well, also,
be who
we
you
know
are.
he's got a jet.
Also, his time.
Stay in your lane, as you say.
I mean, I ran for president for 11 months. I don't know. It seemed like 10 years. But time is important.
Right.
In other words, you got to raise money. You got to be in front of audiences. You want to take methods of transportation that minimize your time so you can be in front of 5 audiences instead of 2.
This is what blows me away.
And also,
Mr. Mayor.
being with the people means talking to them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And means talking to real people.
If you want to talk about minimum wage, you got somebody from Chipotle right across there making you a burrito. Ask that person right there.
I used to, when I ran and when I was mayor,
I saw you at the racetrack when
I
you
would
were
go
running.
into. I used to go into diners. In fact, I'm going to have breakfast this morning. Probably do it after the show. Go into the diner. I'll talk to the people there. I may even sit down and have breakfast with one of them.
Right, maybe
that's
they'll
how
pick
I
up the
found
tab.
out what was going on.
It's like a focus group.
Also,
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, a lot of times they'll pick up the tab, and that's kind of cool.
No.
kidding,
Then you go to jail. Then you
That's
go to
against
jail.
the law. I know.
No,
But I mean, here's the thing. You had a strategy in Florida. I'm not going to be successful in the first 2 states. I'll meet you in Florida. That didn't work out. But expensive people sit down at expensive tables and come up with a strategy. Who came up with this strategy? And is it somehow genius? And are we missing it?
Maybe, but I don't think so. I think it's inauthentic. I don't think anybody buys it. No, look, she's in coach. But then the limousine picks her up on the tarmac.
Well, she's in coach because they didn't have first class on that airplane.
Okay, so everybody has coach.
Everybody was.
But I mean,
everyone gets on the
don't be who you are.
Yeah,
Right.
we know.
We know you
years.
are an extremely important person.
Right.
You need protection. She clearly needs Secret Service protection. There are people who threaten her.
Right.
I know that from my days. I don't mean her specifically, but these people really do need protection. That's okay. People get it. Then just be nice to the people that you actually see.
Absolutely.
Be real.
All right. Thanks for being nice to us and
Okay.
showing up today. Really.
And always yourself.
All right.
We love that, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
7